Okay, so today I'm going to take you out to the woodlands to try out this thing, have a look at it, talk about it, and assess a few things to do with Nunchaku, nature reserves, and people. So I'm taking great lengths here to try and get away from people. It's supposed to be a nature reserve, but there's more people in here than there is nature. But I found a place that's pretty abandoned, so kind of hoping it's going to stay quiet through the summer. I came here in the autumn and it was like all clear, obviously there was no nettles and stuff. But I noticed that the kids hang out here, so they've been making some crappy bushcraft shelters. I can't help noticing that they just whacked a load of nails in the tree. Like, it's a nice little place here, I think. Yeah, look at the state of that. Like, come on guys, if you're gonna make a shelter, like really? Is there any need for that? Don't know whether to remove these because I think they've been here a long time. I don't think anyone comes here now, but I'm hoping nobody comes here anymore because I really want this spot. I have searched all over this nature reserve trying to find somewhere where nobody goes, and like everywhere I go somebody just turns up, you know, like people, dogs, kids, kids with dogs, dogs with kids, parents with dogs and kids. You know what I mean? It's like I just want a bit of peace and quiet, me and Mother Nature, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that this little place is going to stay quiet, so I need to keep my noise down so that nobody freaking hears me. Turns out it's not the perfect spot because the guy just turned up with his dog. See, I fucking come out here to try and exercise, and I end up smoking because I'm that stressed because I'm trying to find somewhere to get away from people that I just end up smoking. Not exactly healthy, like, what we do. Being able to get away from people should be like a human fucking right, man. Like, you should always have somewhere you can go where there's no people, like, because like, why should we have to put up with each other? Like, if we do, then there's just too many of us, isn't there? So we haven't found somewhere we can get away from people, but we have found somewhere where there's probably only like 1 or 2 people per day rather than about 10 families with kids and dogs, so it's probably better than wherever we've been going. Right, so I've been thinking, like, nunchaku are not like a good weapon. The flipping range on them is not that great. It's like, what, less than a metre. They're pretty predictable. I mean, like, you can kind of tell where most of the strikes are going to be coming from, so they're not the most dazzling weapon. You can confuse them with moves, but the strikes are kind of predictable. Combine that with like a lack of blocking ability. It's like you can block with them. And it does work. You can even like block by hitting, you know, because you don't feel the shock through these things like you do with a solid weapon. So you can actually block just by striking the other opponent's weapon, you know. But I don't know, these are extremely light. These are like training ones, you know. So realistically, if you want something that's going to be heavy enough to hurt somebody, then it's got to be at least this heavy, which is still pretty light. And this thing's getting a little slower, you know, like you got big heavy ones like oak or something. These are still light, you know. You got oak though, you know, something you're not going to be able to move them that fast. So you combine the short range with the fact that you can't move them very fast. What you got like is effectively a heavy club that's pretty slow and you can't block with it, and it's not a good weapon, you know what I mean? So in my opinion, you're better off with something fairly lightweight anyway, you know. Like if you're a small guy like me, all skinny and that, you don't want some massive weapon that you can't hardly move about. So you know, the best way is to go for something that fits your size so that you can strike quickly, because at the end of the day, the strike from these might not be fucking devastating, you know, it might not fucking kill you, but if you can get in there first, at least you can deliver a strike. If you've got a slow, heavy weapon, yeah, you can kill them with one strike, but you ain't going to be able to hit them because it's too slow. Like, by which time you're going to be hit, you know what I mean? So like, a nunchaku, they're a mixed blessing. I'd rather have them on me than not have them on me. Probably rather have a staff or a sword, but who's going to be carrying a sword? People say, oh yeah, well someone's going to shoot you anyway. Well yeah, probably, but I do live in Britain, so they don't have that many guns around, you know what I mean? So I was thinking, like, we're messing around a bit with chain whip. It's not really a chain. It's not really a chain whip. Just got a big old piece of chain. That's all it is. Big old piece of chain with some rings on the end. For me, that's a better weapon really, because like you can keep it in your pocket. Not that we can in this country, you can't walk around with a weapon, you know, get arrested obviously. I don't do that. But look how small it is. You go in your pocket, you can unravel it quick. Now that's a better weapon than a nunchaku, definitely. The range is freaking way longer. You can strike pretty nastily with it. So I'm thinking, what happens if you put the two together? So I just tried like sticking a nice bit of gold chain, a couple of lightweight sticks, just to see. Like the Chinese nunchaku are a lot longer than Japanese ones, you know. Like, this would be the standard length for most nunchaku practitioners. Fuck's sake. Yeah, this would be the normal length for sort of like flow arts guys and normal nunchaku practitioners, you know, like short chain. So you can do the hand rolls, because if you don't have a short chain, you can't really do continuous hand rolls like that, you know. Nearly dropped it. So, if you have a long chain like this, you definitely can't do hand rolls. I'm wondering what you can do, so it's kind of more like the chain whip, really. When it comes to grabbing the other end though, it's a little bit tough. It's not like normal nunchuck, the length of it's totally different. Just hit myself in the nuts. So yeah, it's a loose cannon, this thing, like, but I guess you could use it for chopping down vegetation. Yeah, it kind of works. So yeah, it's kind of an experiment in progress, that I think. I don't really know how to go about using this. I mean, it's very concealable. It's more concealable, not that I conceal weapons, just for the record. It is more concealable than your average nunchaku. I mean, that'll fit in a small pocket. Not that you'd be carrying weapons, because that's naughty. But I don't know, it's quite good. I quite like it. Quick strike. You go from wrapped up to quick strike. Yeah, it works. A bit harder to do throw catches with this. I quite like it. You know, this bike's becoming beloved to me. I don't even have a name for this bike. Right, well, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to need some more practice for that thing, definitely. I go to some great lengths to get away from people, man. Oh, fuck, it's bumpy in here, like. It's bumpy in here, mate. There's even a way out of it. You know, I can't even remember how I got in here. Thanks for watching, guys. Wish me luck.